Hi papillons, welcome back to my channel. This is Phatcat, and in this channel we get into the topics of astrology, sound healing, spirituality, and so much more. Okay, and today we're going to get into the topic of the new moon in Pisces. Okay, because the new moon in Pisces is going to happen on 19th February, and it is a very ripe time to manifest. It is a very ripe time to get into tune with your own body, your body's needs. It is a beautiful time to be sparing with your words, to be gentle with yourself, to enjoy and simmer in the silence, to also be sensual, to explore your own body's sensuality, your sensual needs. And this is a very, very apt, ripe time to tap into the mystical underbelly that is life, and to become creative through this intuitive knowing or through this intuitive flow that happens very naturally once you are tapped into the mystical flow of life. Okay, so if this sounds interesting to you, if you want to be part of this magical ride and you want a few takeaways on how to do that, or how to manifest that, then stick on for this video. So let's get into the energy of Pisces. Okay, Pisces is symbolized by two fish. Okay, there's two fish, and these two fish are moving in opposite directions. Okay, so something like this. Okay, so it's like a yin and a yang fish, almost like a fish for the light and there's a fish for the darkness. There's a fish for birth and there's a fish for death. Okay, so Pisces is able to bridge two realities at once. Okay, and it does so in a very seamless and smooth fashion. It is one of the most beautifully mutable, adaptable, and changeable signs. It is one of the most free-flowing signs of the zodiac. At the same time, a lot of this movement is emotional for the Pisces energy because it is a water sign. Okay, so the energy is mutable, but it's also very watery, it's very emotional. So the emotions can also be changing from highs to lows, which include mood swings. But at the same time, their behavior, their tendencies also, they're able to adapt to the changes of life very quickly, without having a resistance towards that. Without applying force, they are also able to bring about change just by dreaming that existence into reality. And that is how they are automatic or natural manifestors, I should say. Okay, so let's get into what are some of the key themes of this particular new moon in Pisces. Okay, so as I said, the first and foremost thing is that the Piscean energy is very wise, it's very emotional, it's very intuitive, it's very adaptable, and it is very spiritual. Okay, it is very dreamy, it is naturally tapped into the mystical realm. Okay, and this energy is inviting all of us also to kind of take a pause. Okay, to kind of take a moment or a few moments, it could be a day, I would recommend at least a day, to just stay still, to just be present, to just be with the body. Because on a normal day-to-day basis, we are moving all the time, right? We're moving, we're running, we're rushing. The Pisces energy is not a rushed energy. It takes action from a space of intuition. Okay, it's already in tune with the rhythms of life. Okay, the leaves do not rush to fall off from the tree. Winter does not rush to change into spring, and spring does not rush to change into summer. They all take their time to change and to morph, right? And the Pisces energy is so in tune with that natural morphing energy, okay, which is the very fabric of the universe itself. They are so tuned to that's how they also take action, or they stay in inaction until they need to take that action. Which is why when you're around the Piscean energy, you feel soothed, you feel calmed, you feel healed, you feel like there is an emotional shoulder for you. you feel that there is a space for you to express, because that energy is naturally giving space, it is naturally holding space, and it is healing through being authentic. It is healing through being tapped into life's rhythms, ebbs, flows, and tides. Okay, so the first invitation we are getting from this energy is come back to your body, feel into your body, feel into your sensuality, and tap into your own rhythms. You have your own menstrual cycle, you have your own digestive cycle, we have our own sleep cycles, dream cycles. So tapping into the body's cycles, which are then reflected in moon cycles and nature cycles as well, getting in tune with all the cycles that exist very organically, naturally. Nobody made them up, nobody's forcing you to do it. It just is. Okay, first invitation is that. Okay, now another invitation we are getting from this energy is to also ask yourself, what are the boundaries that have become obsolete or rigid? What are those boundaries that you have, or limitations that you have set for yourself? What are those limitations you have set for somebody else, even for your interaction with friends, for your interaction with your parents or your other family members, your interaction with the world at large? What are those limitations and boundaries you have set which have grown old, which are useless now? Maybe they served a purpose, maybe they were useful in protecting you when you were, when the hurt that you had felt was very raw and open, like an open wound. Now the wound is healed, there's a lot of time has passed. Why are you still holding on to this boundary? Why are you still fencing yourself off from this beautiful, wide, expansive nature that you have within you? That is a question the Pisces energy is asking us and inviting us to explore those boundaries and limitations that have they have no space, they have no use in our life, so we must dissolve them. Because again, it's actually a very natural dissolution. It's actually, we are allowing it to naturally dissolve, right? The Pisces energy, allow that Pisces energy to dissolve it naturally. Okay, the thing that would block that dissolution is the mind, are the things that you're thinking in your mind, are the fears and uncertainties and doubts that are coming to your mind. Okay, so it's more an act of dissolving the boundaries rather than manually removing them or taking too much effort. Just allowing those unnecessary boundaries to dissolve so that you can expand as a human being, so that you can invite more adventure, more of your dreams into your reality. Okay, now the other thing that this Pisces energy is asking us to do, okay, is to again allow the blocks within us to dissolve. Okay, what are these blocks I'm talking about? Obviously, I'm not talking about a rock, I'm not talking about a physical block like a rock or a door or a fence. I'm talking about the internal blockages that we may be carrying with us, the blocks that are created because we suffered some sort of trauma, because we went through intense stress, because we went through intense heartbreak, okay, because we felt abandoned or neglected as a child. All these things create strong blockages in the energy system, which again reduces how much can flow through us, which reduces our creative expansion and exploration and expression. Okay, and it limits our own perception of ourselves, which then gets reflected back from the reality as we are small or we are less than. Okay, so the thing that this energy is asking us to do is identify first those blocks. Again, what are those trauma bondings that we are still carrying? Okay, or what are those blockages we are carrying based on some heartbreak, some trauma, as I said. And first we have to look at it. Okay, we have to feel it, we have to hold it, we have to be with it, and then we can softly dissolve and release it. Again, this Pisces energy is not about forcing, it is not about making your mind up and doing things in a planned and organized way. It's a very feminine energy, a flow. So even with the blockages, you're going to give that blockage a lot of love. You're giving that a lot of nurturance. First and foremost, you're being present with the blocks within you. Let's say it's a childhood trauma, you felt neglected as a child, and as a result of that, you still neglect yourself, right? As a result of that, giving that all your love and energy, sitting with that sad, hurt and wounded part of you, exploring it, examining it, acting like it's a physical thing before allowing it to release. And I will be providing a guided meditation for this release part, so please stay tuned. That will be happening towards the end of this video. Okay, now what else can we look at when it comes to the new moon in Pisces? Okay, the new moon in Pisces is also about discernment. Since Pisces is ruled by Neptune, Neptune is a planet of dreams, okay, of the imagination, of the metaphysical realm, but it is also a planet of illusions. So the downside of a Pisces energy can be you can get distracted very easily. Okay, you can dissociate very easily. You can fly into a fantasy that doesn't belong to you authentically, that doesn't resonate with your soul. Okay, and I can give you a very strong example of this happening in our real lives. Okay, what happens in our real lives? Okay, we start watching a Netflix series. Okay, it's interesting, you're bored, you have nothing to do, you start watching this Netflix series. Okay, and you're just watching it. Like at some point you become a sort of a zombie, right? The screen is doing all the work for you, you're dependent on it. Once you're finished with the series and you've binge watched it, suddenly you feel really empty inside, you feel hollow inside. That is a classic act of dissociation. That is a classic example of you dissociating from your own body and your own soul's purpose, and as a result feeling very numb and empty afterwards. Okay, so this is a misuse of the Piscean energy, where you enter all these other fantasy realms that are so prevalent today, right? It's so prolific and prevalent today. It's all around us through the form of social media, through TikTok, through Instagram, through YouTube even. And because sometimes we do not have a clear, firm understanding of who we are in our bodies, because we are not connected to who we are on a ground level, it's very easy for us to fall into the fantasies that are being created for us online and lose ourselves within it. So a very important part of this new moon in Pisces is discernment. Discerning between what is a good flow and what is a bad flow. Okay, flow is actually not good or bad, but I mean, where are you flowing in a way that directs you towards your deepest heart's desires, towards your soul's wisdom and soul's desires, and where are you flowing and floating away from your heart's desires? Where are you being inauthentic? Where are you losing that genuine sense of connection in that flow, that negative flow? Okay, there is no real negative or positive. I'm bringing it up just to because I want to this is a concrete problem that we have as a generation, and this is just me trying to put words into it. And Pisces is really not much about the words, it's all about the feeling. Okay, it's all about the feeling and the sensing and the knowing, the deep knowing that comes from the feeling and sensing. So I hope the energy is transmitting. I think it is, I feel it is rather. Okay, so make sure that your flow is not towards your indulgences, towards your addictive behaviors. Make sure that flow is in rhythm with your body's needs, with your soul's calling, and with your heart's desires. So the Pisces energy is asking us, that's why, to get more and more in touch with our body, with our senses. Okay, so sensuality is another huge theme for this new moon in Pisces. Okay, why sensuality? Okay, sensuality allows us to be very much in touch with our senses. Okay, whether it is touch, whether it is smell, whether it is sight. Okay, and once we are in touch with all of that, we are in our body, we are very keyed into our rhythms and own cycles and flows, and from there it is very easy for us to know ourselves, be ourselves, and from there the action becomes organic and natural. That is why sensuality is so very important and so very ignored by society, so much shamed, right? Recently I've also started exploring more of my sensual side, which was always there. Actually, I am a very sensual being, and it is so not cool how indoctrinated we are against exploring and enjoying the sensualities our bodies have to offer us, the grounding that sensuality can offer us, the understanding of self, the wholeness and integration that sensuality can offer us is so much ignored in our society. Not only is it ignored, it is shamed. It is often shamed and gossiped about, right? It is made as if it's some negative thing that we need to hide. So it's so stupid, and I would say do the opposite. I would say really start simmering and feeling into your sensuality this new moon in Pisces. Some of the things you can do is take a really hot shower, go for a massage. Okay, get a massage person, expert to come and do some massage on you, do some acupuncture on you. Okay, you can also do some dancing. Like I would say R&B. I've been listening to a lot of R&B, and it's so sensual and it's so soothing, and I don't know, it's so fulfilling. Okay, so listening to music, doing some dancing, some sensual moves, some sensual yoga. Okay, or hot or a bath, like a bubble bath, or like a essential oils ka bath. Okay, exploring agarbattis, essential oils, palo santo. So anything to do with the senses, bring more of that into your life right now. Because that is also a fuel to your creativity. That's also allowing you to relax and loosen up, and making space for that, for the channel to flow, the creative channel, which is the same as the source energy, to flow from your crown chakra into your entire body and your being. And we are here as channels to express that creativity, right? To vibe with it, to jive with it, to dance with it, to flow with it, to feel into it, to explore it. That's what we're here for, and we forget. Okay, so as I said, the staying grounded, being in the body, being sensual, being in tune with your body's needs is also very super important at this time for this new moon in Pisces. Okay, and make sure you also address your needs. Do not neglect yourself. This is where I mean by discernment. The boundaries that you do feel that you need, please keep that. Please put up new boundaries in case you feel your energy is leaking. So check the places where you have blockages, check the places where your energy is leaking. Is your energy leaking into Instagram, into scrolling all day? That's a huge energy leak, right? Or into like binge watching some Netflix show, okay, or watching porn. Is your energy leaking? If it's leaking, then it's going to be very hard for you to be creative. It's going to be very hard for you to feel into your own self, to feel grounded. So this season, this time is also asking you to meet your own needs, okay, to set the healthy boundaries you need to thrive and to flow with the magic that is life. Okay, so this concludes the themes, the themes that I have sensed and felt and intuited for the new moon in Pisces, and the themes that we can work with. And now I'm going to just give a little affirmation. You can say this affirmation to yourself, either silently or loudly. I would suggest loudly, okay, to remove any sort of blockages you may be having and to tune into that source energy. As I said, the source energy and creativity they're the same actually. Okay, so the affirmation is, I am source energy in motion. Okay, I am source energy in motion. We forget that, don't we? Yeah, I am source energy in motion. I am creativity embodied. Okay, I am source energy in motion. I am creativity embodied. What you can do also is you can close your eyes, put your hands on your heart. I am source energy in motion. I am creativity embodied. Feel into that. Feel into that vibration. Feel into that channel of so much love, bliss, and generosity pouring in. I am source energy in motion. I am creativity embodied. I am source energy in motion. I am creativity embodied. I am source energy in motion. I am creativity embodied. Yeah, so beautiful, right? Yeah, just getting in tune with source is going to provide you all the ecstasy you need. You do not need an ecstasy from porn or Instagram. Trust me, it can just come directly from the source once we are grounded into that. Okay, so that was the affirmation. If this affirmation helped you, try and repeat it to yourself throughout the day and allow that affirmation to change. So if it is something more specific to you, it can change a little bit. But the main affirmation is, I am source energy in motion, I am creativity embodied. And this is the way you can align with that creative flow, okay, the source energy flow, and kind of not be with your blockages and limitations. Okay, of course, really removing the blockages and limitations takes time, takes work. It is not like, okay, it's not always like that. I do not agree with people who believe in quick fixes, because I do not believe in quick fixes. I believe some things take time and some things can be done fast, but the best things take time and the best results come from a lot of inner work that is being done. That is how I work, and that is what I believe. I believe any kind of shortcut is actually a limitation to your own growth. And that is something I've been learning the hard way, actually. So, yeah. So, guys, this is the end of this part of the video. Now, we can get into a short meditation, and I will do a separate video for the prompts, maybe because it's getting a little long. I don't know, maybe I should, yeah, let's, which one should we do first? Okay, let's get into the prompts actually. Okay, here are some prompts you can work with. Okay, firstly, what blocks am I experiencing in the free flow of my source energy or creativity? What blocks am I experiencing to the free flow of source energy or my creativity? This is where you kind of explore those wounds. Be gentle with yourself, be soft with yourself. The second prompt is, what are the steps I can take to dissolve these blocks? What are the steps I can take to dissolve these blocks? As I mentioned, some of the steps I've already mentioned before in the video, like getting sensual, getting back to your body, doing grounding work can be very useful. Now think for yourselves, feel into your own needs, and right from that place of feeling into your needs, what are the steps you can take to dissolve the blocks that do exist? Now the third prompt is, what boundaries did I place around me that have now become obsolete? What boundaries did I place around me that have now become obsolete? Okay. The fourth prompt is, where in my life am I allowing my energy to leak? Where in my life am I allowing my energy to leak? The life energy is the most precious resource we have, and it's so easy to forget that, right? We keep giving the importance to, idols and so many other people online, and even sometimes we look up more to our friends, forgetting that we are the cosmic energy in motion. All the power is within each of us. We forget that. So that happens because we're giving away the energy without even understanding it, without even using it for our own benefit. Okay, so where in my life am I allowing the energy to leak? Okay, so here you can address your indulgences, your addictions. Again, the answer for that is, what steps can I take to prevent the leakage of my energy? What steps can I take to prevent leakage of my energy? Okay. And now the last question is, what would I do if I knew I couldn't fail? A lot of times why we don't take some steps, some actions, is because we feel it's going to make us look ridiculous. We're going to fail we're going to fall flat on our face. So the doubts and insecurities stop us, right? Now what would you do if those doubts and insecurities didn't exist? Okay, what would I do if I knew I could not fail? And this is a huge question for anyone who's interested in manifestation. As I said, a lot of what I'm speaking about is about manifestation. I have just not stressed on that word as much, but it is about manifesting. Manifesting cannot happen without you being fully grounded and fully catering to the needs of your own body. It cannot happen. So, coming from the basics, right? So what would I do if I knew I could not fail? Okay, that's the last question, and last question in the prompt, and that is the end of the prompts. And now I should have got my singing bowl, but we'll do it anyways. Now we'll slowly get into a very short, beautiful guided meditation. I would like you to close your eyes. Sit in a very comfortable position, cross-legged if that's comfortable. You can also lie down on your back. You can close your eyes. And start breathing into your body, through your neck, through your chest, into your belly. You can go even deeper, down till your pelvic floor, breathing all the way to your pelvic floor and slowly exhaling. Taking another deep breath in. Okay. Close your eyes, allow your temples to release the tension, allow your forehead to release the tension. Relax your head, your arms, your feet, your legs. Relax your hips, your pelvis floor, your stomach, your back. Now I would like you to imagine that you are in a forest that is far, far away. You cannot identify the forest, it is far, far away. It's a lush, cool forest, and I want you to feel the grass under your feet as you walk barefoot. I want you to listen to all the sounds that maybe the creatures are making in the forest. Maybe just some insects, maybe what do you call that bird? Maybe some birds, okay? Maybe a woodpecker pecking on some wood. Okay, so you start walking through this forest and you can hear the sound of water nearby, and you start moving towards the source of that water. Slowly you come up across a river, a beautiful, cool, refreshing river. So bubbling through, sound of bubbling water, trickling water. Let that fill your senses. Okay. Now I want you to do a body scan. Okay. Feel into your body. Okay. Feel any parts of your body that is holding tension or resistance. You can also think of something that has recently traumatized you, that has recently disappointed you, that has created some sort of resentment or grudge within you. Feel that thing that's in your body that could feel like a little ball or a knot. Okay. Now I want you to reach into your energetic body slowly and gently, lovingly and consciously, and slowly extract that ball or knot of resistance and anger and whatever negative it could be. And I want you to look at it with a lot of love. I want you to feel into it. Give it the respect and love it desires. It seems to desire your acknowledgement. Give it that acknowledgement. Okay? Taking some time just to feel that knot, which is now in a physical form in your hands. Hold it lovingly. Taking another deep breath out, releasing the tension. Breathing deep into your pelvic floor. Releasing all the resistances. I seem to have some resistance here. And I want you to float that ball into the river. Allow that to gently, allow it to go. Let it go. Let the river's tides take it away from you. Okay? And how do you feel as you have let that go, that ball of negativity release? Feel that. Take another deep breath all the way into your pelvic floor. Feeling that breath filling up your entire body with light